next level.
Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Coach Tiffany Parra with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. We are taking center stage today on the Own It Publishing platform, and we have an amazing series for the next few weeks from one of our awesome contributing writers. Let me go ahead and bring her on in the house. What's going on, Lady Cleopatra? How are you? Oh my goodness, that's so
I
good.
am. It is so wonderful to see you. I am grateful and thankful to be here, and I am excited about our topic today.
Yes, yes. So, everyone, today we are starting a series about falling in love with you and what that looks like. And this is going to be some very insightful tips on just how to tap into yourself. So, Lady Cleopatra, go ahead and please introduce yourself to those who do not know you out there in the world, who you are, where you are, and what you do, honey.
Yes. Okay. My name is Lady Cleopatra Davidson, born and raised in Los Angeles. I currently live in the high desert area. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have my first business, hobby turned business. I design couture eyewear, and it's called Blinged Out by Lala. This is one of my pieces.
Love it.
And then, yes, my second company is me as a spiritual life coach. It's called Celebration. And, we tend to be very hard on ourselves. And so this company speaks dear and near to my heart because I just want to remind people to celebrate yourself. That's what's missing. Because when we feel special, we make others feel special. And then the other project that I'm working on, my third company is a nonprofit, Kind Humans Uplift Humankind. Kindness is a superpower and it's overrated and not appreciated, or underrated and not appreciated. And so I just want to remind people, if the more kind we are to ourselves and celebrate ourselves, the more kind we are to others, the more we can celebrate others. So yeah, I'm a spiritual life coach above anything else. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, and I'm just so thankful to be here.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm so thankful to have you. So thankful to have you on the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics contributing writer team. Everyone,
Yes,
if you have not subscribed, subscribe because you are going
thank
to
you.
want to hear from this young lady. She's got some really great content. She has some awesome, awesome products. I mean, her eyewear off the hook. I've got a couple pairs, everybody. So definitely,
Yes,
definitely connect with her and subscribe to the magazine and check us out. So
yes.
let's talk about falling in love with you. So what inspired this topic for you?
Actually, this is what inspired my spiritual journey. I did not want to love myself. I wanted to love everyone but me. I couldn't understand, like, why did it matter? If I'm kind to other people, why do I matter? And it's like the very reason why we don't know why we matter is the very reason we matter. And how you treat yourself is how you show others to treat you. And if you attract a certain kind of energy, how you treat yourself. So if you're always putting yourself on the back burner, so will the people in your relationship. So will life. But if you embrace yourself and you step outside your comfort zone and do positive things, you're able to fall in love with you so you can have a better quality of life. It's not about the money. It's not necessarily about other people. It's about having a healthy relationship with yourself so that you
Yeah.
can think better, you can see clearer, you can feel different. about
Right.
the challenges in life. I used to take everything so personal. If my tire blew, I took it personal. If the lady at the check line was upset at me, I took it personal. And now I'm realizing sometimes God puts things in your life to make you slow down, to
Yep.
reflect, to think. It's not a personal attack. It's just God saying, I'm in control, not you. And I want you to find ways to connect with me. Just check in. Are you on the right track or not? If not, be gentle with yourself and go
Yeah.
ahead and make better choices. So that's what inspired me to write this. I just want to promote loving ourselves in a healthy way.
I love that. I love that. And we need more of that, just tapping into ourselves. So there in the next in the next segment, excuse me, we're going to talk about, the four ways of falling in love with your life and just all of you. And
Hmm.
the first thing that we want to touch on with that is self-awareness. So can you explain what self-awareness is to the audience, so they understand?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So self-awareness is understanding what are your triggers and why. Like I personally didn't even know I had triggers. And it's not until you already are went from 0 to 100
Right.
and you might be popping off or wanting to fight or some type of negative action or emotion because you
Hmm.
didn't even understand that because you were hurt 10 years ago, this person did something that reminded you of that pain and you're just trying to protect yourself, but you're
Yeah.
not sure how to do it in a healthy way. So understanding what those triggers are, understanding what lights you up. A lot of us are out here just like going through the mundane of just working, going home, but we don't really tap in or spend enough time on what lights us up. So finding out
Right.
what that is, you know, understanding what brings you joy and happiness outside of others. Having relationships are important and powerful, but understanding who you are on your own is the biggest gift you can give yourself. So that is what self-awareness is.
I love that because, we were talking backstage, yeah, before we started. And, I was sharing with you myself being very self aware because I used to have really bad road rage. And
Mm.
it was bad. I mean, where I would want to throw things out the window. I would fuss, cuss. And, if someone would cut me off, I would get up on the side and rev up and cut them off and do all that kind of stuff. But nowadays, I'm very self-aware. I'm very aware of like the environment, right? Because my actions could cause a whole crazy ripple effect. What if the person that happened to cut me off, right, is really in a
Hmm.
hurry? And, maybe they have something really crazy going on, right? And then all of a sudden I start acting a fool and, you know, keep them from doing what they need to do. Or I run into someone that's crazy and they decide to, pull a gun out on me, right? Or do something.
Right. Yes.
So,
Every situation has perspective from both people, whether they have good intentions or not. And I know for me, I had road rage. I remember one time I hopped out of the car on a grown man and
oh, wow.
asked him, like, let's go, because of a turn that he made. And I feel like the reason why we have that is because so many times in our life we were discounted,
Hmm.
diminished. You know what I mean? And so
Right,
it's just like, I'm not going to let another person take advantage, right? But then on the
right.
flip side, you don't know what that person is going through. And that's why having compassion and doing things with grace and wisdom is so
Yeah.
powerful because it helps you not go to jail,
Okay.
lose your mind, lose your family because of a instant decision that could have been avoided if you had
Right,
took a deep breath and realized they're hurting because why would
right.
you cut me off that way or why would you be driving too fast? So when you're able to, have that higher perspective, it just brings you inner peace and happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does. I mean, just
Hmm.
so learning those triggers, learning where they
Yeah.
come from, right?
And how to get rid
Because
of them.
and how to get rid of them. And most of the time, it's even just stopping and saying,
Hmm. Take
Right?
a
Taking a
deep
deep breath.
breath.
Just
Because
taking a
sometimes
deep
you're
breath.
upset at something else, and that person cut you off just that was the last straw. And
Right.
we can't control things. And if you can't control it, don't give all of your emotion to it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break and then we will be right back with one more of the four ways. Be right back. I tell you, I just love that commercial.
I'm
I
over here
can
like, it
just
uplifts
a
your
dancing
mood
in
for
your seat
sure.
every time. Well, big ups to Michelle Mupo and Mupo
Yes.
Entertainment. They right now they have over a million VODs, which is amazing. So
Nice.
again, you guys
Congratulations.
congratulations for Mupo TV. So we
Yes.
are back, Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating that mind, body, and spirit. We have Lady Cleopatra Davidson here, and we are talking about the four ways of falling in love with your life and all of you. So we just touched a little bit on just that self-awareness and what that looks like, being aware of what triggers us, being, aware of what lights us up, what really gives us joy so we can just really flow. So now the
Mhm.
next thing that we want to talk about is going to be that self-realization. So tell us a little bit about that self-realization, Lady Cleopatra.
Self-realization is deep because you can think you're one way and you're totally a different way. Like, as women or myself, let me say, I'm open for a relationship. I want love. And then I realized I didn't think men were faithful. Like, I had a very negative idea of love to begin with. And whatever you think is what you attract. So
Right.
my words are saying I want a healthy relationship, but my thoughts and my feelings, I'm coming from a hurt place. So
Hmm.
self-realization is so important because you just really want to know what is it that I really do value? What is it that I really am believing? And do I need to alter those things? So
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
definition for self-realization is to fulfill your own potential. So one way that that can be achieved is by practicing self-acceptance without judgment. That's
That's
huge,
huge.
right? Because we
Yeah.
beat ourselves down, we tear ourselves apart. We're just so mean to ourselves. We are our worst critics. So
Hmm.
practicing self-acceptance, especially when you make a mistake. Have
Right.
we ever died from making a mistake? No.
Okay.
But we feel like we will, like we hype it up so much, like the world is going to end, but it doesn't, it won't. And so
Right.
giving ourselves grace and love and understanding, um, being cautious but spontaneous, have fun. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid. If you've never been to the beach, go to the beach. You're
Right.
afraid of heights, try something that has height involved, whether it's just a ride or a restaurant that's in a high story building. Just do something different.
Right.
And appreciating and
Uh-oh. I think we lost you.
got a
Oh,
call.
there she is.
But appreciating the small things in life. We are, oh, yes, appreciating the small things in life. Celebrating washing the dishes, celebrating taking out the trash. We tend to highlight all the things we don't accomplish, but we don't
Right.
tend to recognize what we did accomplish. I did drink enough water today, or I did take the dog out for a walk. So just celebrating those little things And like I said earlier, just recognizing what our values, beliefs, our interests, our needs, our wants, our skills, and our dreams, so we can get a better understanding of who we are.
Right. Yeah. Getting out of the comfort zone, right? And really, like you said, understanding again what lights you up, what makes you feel a certain way. And I love how you said, practicing that self acceptance, right? Because you're so right.
Yes.
Like nobody's died out there over, like a little mistake. I mean, a big mistake. I mean, so, of course, but come on, little mistakes in life, we learn from those mistakes.
Right.
Nothing is going to be that dreadful,
Right.
where it's like, oh my gosh, it's over, right?
Even with
So,
me being a parent, like, I was the only child, so I didn't have like siblings. And when my daughter would make a mess, I would freak out because I would see it as just another thing to do, like a chore, and
mm,
it just made me so upset. And one
right,
day, God was just like, "You make mistakes all the time. You lose things, you spill things, you fall, you run into walls. Like,
right.
why she can't?"
Same thing she's doing, right?
Right, exactly. She got it from you. So, just being more gentle with our
Yeah,
loved ones and our friends and just people in general. We all mess up. We all make
right.
mistakes.
Yeah, yeah,
And not taking it so serious that you hate them or any type of negative energy, you know?
yeah, yeah. And I love being that spontaneous, going and doing something.
Yes.
Like you said, go to the beach if you've never been to the beach, right? Go and, I don't like heights. I couldn't stand
Hmm.
flying, right? But in the last
Hmm.
year, I have flown more than I have in my life,
Yes, I love
which is
it.
just amazing. And once you open yourself up to that,
Yes.
that self realization, right? You start to realize that this is something that's been missing the whole
Mhm.
time. This is another
Mhm.
thing that is going to give you that joy and that fulfillment, So, yeah, it's so important, so important.
Yes. It creates magic in your life when you step outside the box.
Yeah,
God just He blesses you in a different way, a more
yeah,
spiritual way where you feel connected to like this, even though you don't know exactly, all the steps to take. There's something
right,
beautiful in just stepping out into the unknown when it's positive and seeing where God takes you.
right. Let the floodgates open. Because once you say yes, and it's
Mhm.
path too, right? When you're on your path and you just say yes, and it's scary. I'm dealing with a situation right now with an individual in my life, and they're very scared of something. And it's like, but once you open that floodgate,
Mhm.
it's all going to fall into place. Everything. And it's just funny because I see it, but that individual
Right.
doesn't. And again, that's that whole self realization, right? Like
Yes.
really understanding the whole situation. So yeah.
But that's the same thing with our spark. We all have something special about us. And,
Right.
going back to like that negative self-talk, we're nicer to other people than we are to
Yeah.
ourselves. So,
Yes.
yes. And I don't know why that is, but we have to like retrain our brain and our thoughts to be kind. So, one thing like I've been doing and teaching my daughters, whatever you want for someone else, want that for you first. So,
Yeah.
if you want to send hugs to a friend, hug yourself. We're not
Oh,
taught to do that. If
yeah.
you want to bake cookies for someone, first take some time out for you and meditate. Like before you do something for someone else, do something for you. So that way you don't forget you, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you see the
Mhm.
gym behind me. I mean, it's an image, of course, but that's how I started my day, and I start every day with that, regardless of what I'm doing. I have to start that because that is what is very important to me.
Yes.
And doing that, it has helped me to, be healthy. It has helped me to, continue to, keep weight off and things like that. So it all works in a positive,
Yes.
domino effect in a sense, when
Yes.
it put in that, that focus, right?
Yes, on you. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. On you. Because again,
Mhm.
like you said, we always put everyone else first. We always talk,
Mhm.
so, positive to everyone else, and then that negative self-talk to ourselves. So, just
Mhm.
getting up in the morning and, making it a habit of the first thing when you pass a mirror, say something nice to
Mhm.
yourself.
Oh, I love that.
Even if it says, "Good morning, gorgeous."
Like, hey,
Hey,
hey, girl, how you
you know,
doing?
say, "Hey, girl, good morning, girl." It's gonna be a good day.
Yes.
Something, right? And that's
Yes.
going to shift that
Mhm.
energy of the day. And then it's going to also help to radiate that love because now you started your day
Yes.
with, just looking at yourself and spreading a little love to yourself. So, yeah, this
Yes.
is this is an awesome, awesome topic. I love it.
Yes.
Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut to another quick commercial break, and we'll be back with Lady Cleopatra. We'll be right back. And that is a smooth commercial from Upscale Online Biz Solutions. I love the smoothness of that. And if you're looking for
Yes.
a website, you're looking for someone to create a smooth and awesome commercial for your business, things like that, definitely connect with Charles at Upscale. All right, we are back with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. And we have Miss Lady Cleopatra Davidson. We are talking about, once again, falling in love with yourself, just falling in love with life, right? And all the ups, the downs, the roller coaster of it all,
Yes.
just falling in love with everything. And we talked about that self-awareness, being aware of what those triggers are, being aware of the things that light us up. Then we talked about that self-realization, right? Just really kind of defining that what is that fulfillment, right? And talking about being spontaneous and getting out of that comfort zone, right? And really starting to realize those things that maybe we've put out are really things that we should put in because they're good for us, right? So the next thing we want to talk about is identifying what you like, right? And
Yes.
what you don't like. I mean, because we get into these relationships where we almost get brainwashed, right? Where,
Mhm.
there's things that other person likes, and it could even be, a relationship with a child, right? I mean, that child loves a certain TV show and they want to watch it and
Mhm.
everything, and it becomes you guys' favorite, and you can't stand the damn thing. Every time you hear it coming on,
Right.
it's cringies up your spine. But
Yes.
but you portray as if you like it because we want to
Right.
protect other people's feelings and things. So let's talk
Mhm.
about that. Let's talk about how to, what's some ways to be able to identify, what you like and what you don't like.
Yes. So, that we're going to be talking about self-discovery, but I want to touch on that. Yeah, we tend to lose ourselves in relationships, and I hear it all the time where one person puts their life on hold for the other person. and learning to be interdependent and not codependent.
Mm,
Codependent is when you have no hobbies, no likes, no nothing. Just whatever your partner wants is all that you're consumed on. And it's just not healthy. It's healthy to have your interests and likes and, their interests and likes and then come together on a common ground.
right.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
important. But yeah,
Yeah.
self-discovery, a lot of us, we don't even know who we are. We don't know what we like. We're told who we are and what we like by our family and our friends and our
Mhm.
community, and the environment that we grew up in. But we never
Right.
really ask ourselves, what do you like? So one way to realize who you are and your identity is to evaluate your values and your beliefs because that is who you are. It's like I was saying
Yeah.
before, I'm saying I'm open for love, but I think that no one is capable of loving, or I think that love hurts. So I'm asking for a relationship, but am I really ready for a relationship if I think so negatively
Mhm.
about it? And I don't think we realize that.
Yeah.
So self-discovery, asking yourself, are there some harmful things I might be addicted to? Whether that's social
Mhm.
media or not drinking enough water or being around
Right.
the wrong people. What about a relationship? You say you want to be with someone, but the person that you're pursuing, do they want monogamy or do they want an open relationship? When I was dating, I didn't talk about my expectations. You just kind
Mm,
of go with the flow and whatever the other person wants you to do, whether you like it or
right.
not. And that's just not healthy not to have your own identity. Um, Another
Absolutely.
question you can ask yourself, do you prefer to, have your own business or do you like working for someone? So just
Mm,
asking yourself, what are those things that make you who you are so that way
right.
you can live a life full of things that you like, not just doing what others expect of you.
See, and that self discovery piece is so vital. I mean, so vital because we get programmed where as you're in school, it's go get this type of job.
Mhm.
You got to get this because this has the pension and this pays and this,
Mhm.
that, the other, and it's putting you into a comfort zone, but it's putting you into a comfort zone for them,
Right.
not you, for them, right?
Mhm.
But we don't realize that while we're going
Mhm.
through it. And then we get into these jobs that are stressing us out, that are, potentially killing us because we're so
Yep.
stressed out and because we're just internalizing it now at that point,
Mhm.
right? We're just, oh yeah, this is making me happy, but it's completely, tearing you up inside. So
Right.
that's self, just realizing, okay, this is me,
Mhm.
yeah, I picked things for a long time that were jobs and things that I really did not want to be in, but it was, oh my gosh, they pay the big bucks, they
Mhm.
put me in places where it's like, oh yes, you have all these great things going on, you're meeting, making all these great connections and things,
Mhm.
but like for myself, like I was saying, it can make someone sick. It made me sick.
Right. Let's
Oh, it's
talk
making
about
me
that
sick,
because we
right?
both
Yes.
went out on leave. I was in the corporate industry for 20 years and, I'm an A-type personality, valedictorian in high school, get to college, and I realized how unhappy I was because I wasn't going after what I wanted.
Right.
And then being in corporate for 20 years, I went out on stress leave. I had anxiety. So, what was your experience about that?
Well, you know what? Actually, like my experience being in corporate was just flying by the seat of my pants, right? Trying to be the
Mhm.
best of the best and having it internally messing me up, and then having to go in to a checkup and have to hear this is what's going on. I was like, wait, what? No, not
Mm.
me. And it was because of the stress. It was the stress was breaking me down and it was making me sick. It was raising the blood pressure. It was giving me panic attacks. It was doing all those different things. And again, I had no idea what the things were that were happening because
Mhm.
we don't know until until we ask those questions, right? And when we're on that
Right.
hamster wheel, sometimes we just don't even take the time to ask those questions. So very important
Right.
to tap into
Yes.
body, how you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling anxious, you're feeling off, don't dismiss that, because that could be
No.
something that could potentially kill you if you're not,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not careful, right? And if
Right.
you're not being very aware of your body and what's going on. So, yeah.
And I'm also learning as a spiritual life coach, if it brings you stress and anxiety, sometimes that is the key that it's time to move on. Like
That's
just
right.
because it was good for you, you worked at that job for 20 years or you had that friendship for 20 years. We grow, as
Right.
we get older. And so sometimes it just no longer serves you. So just being honest with ourselves, like you said, if you feel tense or tightened or anything like that, and ask
Mhm.
yourself, who was I talking to? What environment was I in? So you
Right.
can
Right.
discover what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's time, I mean, like, I was having pains in my chest
Mm-hmm.
and was dismissing that as, oh, well, you know what? It's nothing, because I
Mm.
work out every day, because I do this, that, and the other.
Right.
I lift weights. Oh, maybe it's a soreness because I'm lifting weights. No,
Mm.
you have to, again, listen to your body. Don't dismiss the things that are going on. Pay
Mm-hmm.
attention. Because if you don't pay attention, again, that could be the thing that could definitely take you out. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And we're talking about wanting to love ourselves. So that's
Right.
key thing in loving ourselves, is
Yes.
listening to ourselves.
To
And
our
when we listen to
bodies.
ourselves, we're listening to ourselves as a whole. We're
Yes.
listening to our heart, right? We're paying
Yes.
attention to it. When you can just stop for a second, take a deep breath, and go inward, and you can hear your heartbeat. We all
Mm-hmm.
have the capability of doing it. And if it's raised a little bit, take another few deep breaths, bring it down,
Mm-hmm.
and then, like you said, think about what just made that happen to you,
Right.
so you can take that out of your life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Best things to do to love yourself, right? So,
Mm-hmm. And I see that, yeah, sweatshirt over there, love. That's so perfect for this topic.
yes.
I love that.
Like, I didn't even plan that either.
We just vibing on the same, energy plane. That's all.
That's right. So now, that the final thing is going to be that self actualization. So let's talk a little bit about what self actualization is for our audience.
Yes, so it is defined as the realization um, of understanding your God-given talents and skills. I meet a lot of people that say, I'm not good at anything, I'm not special. And that is the exact opposite. We all have things that we're naturally good at, and those are the things we should focus on and do every day. And it's going to
Right.
raise our vibration, it's going to help us love ourselves more, and it's going to help us love the life that we are living. So to really change your life for the better, you have to visualize the life that you want. And I know I've
Mhm.
been struggling with visualization because I'm very logical. And if something isn't happening, it's hard for me to imagine it happening. But that's how God works. He wants you
Yeah.
to not only have faith and works, but He wants you to be able to know that you deserve the life that you desire. He wants you to see it, He wants you to feel it, He wants you to believe it, and then thank Him in advance for it being so, and then you wait patiently for Him to bring it to you in the divine time. So that's what self actualization is, just actually realizing, what it is that I want and being patient enough to believe that I deserve it.
I love it. I love it. And see, and I am one of those people. I love visualization. I mean, I wake up in the morning
Mm,
with it. I play a game with it.
really?
I will visualize myself being in the most crazy places, and when you do that, it
Uh-huh.
starts to take fruition in your life. I mean,
Okay, give me
I
a tip. Someone
but
who
that
is blocked, give me a tip because it's still blocked. I'm still struggling with it. So what advice do
you
you have for
know
us who's struggling?
a tip that I can give people would be, honestly, using your senses. Like, really, really going into that moment. Like, when you visualize, not just seeing it, smelling it, hearing the different voices or the music or whatever that is. If you're at the beach, smell the salt water in the air. Hear the birds, hear the seagulls, right? Hear the waves crashing against the beach. Feel the warmth of the sand around your feet. You start to just really, I visualize, my fingers going into the sand and feeling the warm sand just taking, just molding my hand into the earth. Those are the types of that's my way of visualizing. I mean, someone else out there could correct me and say, hey, you know what, I don't do it that way, but I have manifested so many different things in my life by just even imagining how something tastes. Okay, like I'm going to be in Hawaii with this particular drink and this is how it's going to taste, and then actually being there when I renewed my vows in Hawaii, having that drink in my hand, you know?
It's
And I will say
powerful.
too, having vision boards. Vision boards are everything. And just putting everything that gives you joy and happiness on that vision board. I don't care how, big and glamorous you're like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do it. Put it on there. Because guess
Yes,
what? If you look at it over and over again and you see yourself there and you feel it and you smell it and you can just touch it,
yes,
you're going to get there. You're going to get there.
I
Just be
love it.
patient. Just be
Yes.
patient. Not in your time,
Mhm.
in God's time, source's time,
Mhm.
universe's time, whatever it is
Mhm.
that you believe, it's in that time.
Yes.
But it's only going to be in time when you're ready to receive it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love that. Your visualization is great. I mean, I felt the sand, so I love that. You're a very great storyteller. Yes.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, Lady Cleopatra, this has been just an amazing segment with you. And I am so excited to have, the next few weeks ahead of us to be able to just share and love on our audience and really continue to help them to tap into themselves and what really helps them to tick and just thrive. So is there any words of wisdom or words of encouragement that you can provide our audience before we check out of here today?
Yes. Okay, so this is really important. I want you to know the healthier the relationship you have with yourself, the more loving you will be in any relationship that you form. I want to say that one more time. The healthier the relationship you have with yourself, the more loving you will be in any relationship that you have. That is the most important thing that I can say. Um, because the question was, why is falling in love with you so important? Why is loving yourself so important? Why do you matter? The healthier your relationship with you, the healthier relationship with just life in general.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. And again, thank you, Lady Cleopatra, so much for being a part of the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics family.
Go
We just love you
Phoenix.
so much. Love your energy.
Thank
Just
you.
always just you just always light up the room. So thank you
Mm.
so much. Thank you everyone so much for joining us
Yes,
today. We
thank you.
love you and we will definitely see you next time. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Take it to the next level.